If your dog or cat has IBD and you're still relying on steroids, antibiotics, or immune suppressants to manage it, this video is your wake-up call. Because not only are these meds failing to heal the real issue, but they could be silently making things worse. And even worse is I hear all the time from pet parents just like you that they've been told that there's nothing else that they can do. I'm Dr. Katie Woodley, holistic veterinarian and founder of The Natural Pet Doctor. I help pet parents get to the root cause of chronic gut and skin conditions so their pets can finally feel better for good. And this is why so many pet parents end up in the cycle of flare up, more meds, temporary relief, another flare up, usually worse, and even more medications. And if you're here watching this, I know you're ready to break that cycle. And it's possible. Just take it from our Blueprint member, Claudia, who has now helped both her dogs, Sophie and Olive, who had the worst form of IBD, protein-losing enteropathy. They got off their steroids. They're now feeling their best again by using the right types of herbs, foods, and digestive support, while mom now feels much more confident with how to best support their health without relying on medications that worried her due to the long-term side effects. Now, here's my disclaimer. I'm going to be talking about the drugs, and if your pet's on a medication, please work with your veterinarian to reduce or replace it. Don't just take them off of it, because coming off of things like steroids can cause also side effects. So make sure you're working with your veterinarian or find a holistic vet to partner with. Now, IBD isn't just a disease, it's actually a symptom. So first, let's clarify what IBD, so inflammatory bowel disease, really is. It's not a single bug or a simple illness you can just kill off. IBD is actually a syndrome, essentially a chronic inflammatory reaction in your pet's gut. So in other words, it's a collection of symptoms like persistent diarrhea, vomiting, weight loss caused by an underlying irritation or imbalance in the gastrointestinal tract. Think of IBD as your pet's gut's like crying out something deeper is wrong, a bit like a warning light on a car. Treating IBD symptoms alone with drugs is like unplugging the warning light without fixing the engine problem. We need to ask what's causing that chronic irritation and inflammation. So, what's really causing the inflammation? In most cases, IBD is the result of one or more underlying issues that are actually triggering the immune system. So, common causes include things like dietary sensitivities or allergies, so certain ingredients that trigger an immune response, immune system dysfunction, so an overactive or underactive immune response in the gut, chronic stress. Yep, pets feel stress and anxiety, which can flare up the gut, even toxins in the environment, chemicals, mold, heavy metals that can disrupt the gut microbiome. So often there's also an imbalance in the gut microbiome. So that's the trillions of different microorganisms of bacteria, fungi, and protozoa that live in the gut. Too many harmful bacteria or not enough good ones can actually set up the stage for inflammation. Now, the bottom line is IBD is a symptom of deeper imbalances, not a standalone disease. If we don't identify and address those imbalances, we're going to just be chasing symptoms. Now, if your pet has IBD, you've probably been prescribed medications like prednisone, prednisolone, these are steroids, or metronidazole, an antibiotic. These can give short-term release. For a while, your pet might have fewer accidents and have less discomfort. And I'm not against conventional meds. There's a time and a place, especially if there's severe inflammation and your pet is suffering. But here's the thing, long term, these drugs can do more harm than good to your pet's gut health and overall health. So let's break down like what's really happening when your vet prescribes these medications. So let's start with prednisone, budesonide, or even cyclosporin. Steroids and other drugs like cyclosporin suppress the immune response. They reduce inflammation. And that's why your pet's diarrhea might improve on them initially. But they're not selective. They suppress the whole immune system, meaning they aren't fixing the cause of the inflammation. They're just shutting down the body's reaction. And over time, steroids can actually wreak havoc on the body, causing increased thirst and urination, ravenous appetite, mood changes, and even ulcers in the GI tract. Not good when we're trying to treat that, right? They can even disturb the balance of gut bacteria, lead to further digestive problems, problems with absorption of the nutrients. And the longer your pet stays on the steroids, the higher the risk of serious side effects, liver damage, thinning of the skin, muscle loss, diabetes, especially with cats, and overall immune system suppression. Now, you might have already noticed some of these side effects in your pet, and the worst part, as soon as you try to lower the dose or take them off, the IBD symptoms often come roaring right back because that underlying trigger is still there. So it becomes this vicious cycle. Your vet says, we have to keep them on prednisone, and you feel stuck watching your pet live on a drug that's slowly harming them. Now let's talk about metronidazole and other antibiotics. Metronidazole is often given to pets with IBD or chronic diarrhea to reduce gut inflammation and kill bad bacteria. Again, it can help in the moment. Maybe your pet's stool firms up for a little while, but metronidazole just nukes the entire microbiome. It kills bad and good bacteria indiscriminately. Now, research has actually shown that even a short 2-week course of metronidazole will significantly reduce the richness of gut bacteria, wiping out beneficial species, and these changes do not fully return to normal even 4 weeks after stopping the drug. So in plain English, this drug can leave your pet's gut flora devastated and unbalanced for a long time. And a healthy microbiome is crucial for gut health, immune function, and even producing certain vitamins and hormones. When we keep using metronidazole repeatedly for flares, we might actually be perpetuating the very imbalance that contributes to IBD in the first place. Now, many pet parents find that as soon as the antibiotic is finished, the diarrhea or vomiting returns after a while because, again, the root cause wasn't fixed, and now the gut ecosystem is even more fragile. So let's talk about Tylosin or Tylen powder. This is often used daily for chronic diarrhea, but it's another antibiotic that creates dependence. Once you stop, symptoms often return worse than before because the microbiome never actually healed. So in short, these meds are putting a Band-Aid on symptoms while the gut continues to break down underneath. Now, traditional veterinary medicine often ends up in a loop of diet trials and more medications, and you might have tried prescription diets or hypoallergenic food, which can help somewhat, and have seen specialists who ran blood work or ultrasounds. Yet, sometimes they still shrug and they call it idiopathic IBD, which all it means is we don't know what's causing it. In fact, it's really common for vets to say there's no cure and that your pet may need medications or special diets indefinitely. This is really discouraging, and while it's true, like IBD isn't a simple disease with a one-size cure, it doesn't mean your pet is doomed to suffer forever. It just means we have to dig deeper than the standard approach, and the key is to identify those specific triggers and imbalances in your pet. Now, every animal is different. One might have IBD due to a chicken food allergy, yeast overgrowth, while another would be due to antibiotic damage to their microbiome and maybe toxin exposure. But if we treat the cause, the IBD can actually go into remission. And this is where functional testing and a holistic approach come in. So instead of just guessing or suppressing symptoms, we actually test for those hidden imbalances, call them root causes. Now, let me explain how that works and how it actually leads to true healing. So when we focus only on stopping the inflammation with meds, we're not asking the most important question. Why is the gut inflamed in the first place? And here's the truth. The body doesn't make a mistake when it's inflamed. Inflammation is a signal that something deeper is out of balance. And when we start asking why your pet's gut's inflamed, we open the door to real healing. And that's exactly what we do in our Healthy Holistic Pet for Life Blueprint program. Now, here's just a few root causes I see every week with helping pet parents like you in our Blueprint program. A damaged gut lining, that's also known as leaky gut. That allows food and toxins to slip into the bloodstream and overactivate the immune system. An out of balance microbiome, too few good bacteria, too many opportunistic or pathogenic microbes. Chronic exposure to toxins like heavy metals, mold, pesticides, herbicides, or chemical-laden food. Undiagnosed food sensitivities that trigger immune reactions daily. And then, of course, emotional stress and trauma. This impacts gut health too. And this is why IBD isn't something we just suppress with meds. It's something we have to investigate, decode, and actually heal. So, how do we figure out what's driving that inflammation? And this is where functional testing comes in and truly shines. So, these tests are going to take the guesswork out. They give us real data on what's happening inside your pet's body. So, in our Blueprint program, we use tools like the hair tissue mineral analysis test. This helps us see deeper patterns at the cellular health level, like adrenal stress, liver burden, mineral imbalances that could be blocking healing and contributing to inflammation. Microbiome testing. This tells us exactly what bacteria, fungi, and pathogens are present in your pet's gut and what's missing. Most pets with IBD have severe dysbiosis, which means that the protective gut bugs, the good ones, are gone, and inflammation-promoting microbes have taken over. And stool testing. We need to look for hidden parasites, things like Giardia, inflammatory markers. We can look for digestive enzyme output, and even more. For example, many pets are inflamed simply because they're not digesting fats or proteins properly. And then heavy metal and environmental toxin testing. Chronic toxin exposure is a huge hidden driver of gut issues. Things like arsenic, lead, glyphosate, which is a weed killer called Roundup, and even mold mycotoxins can damage the gut lining and the immune system. And then we can even do food sensitivity testing. So not allergy testing, but these tests, they measure delayed immune responses to food that might be silently inflaming your pet's body day after day. You can even do an elimination diet trial for 4 to 6 weeks with a novel protein your pet has never seen. So when we have this data, we stop guessing and we start healing. So instead of throwing another supplement at the wall or switching to the next prescription diet, you can actually build a targeted protocol to heal the gut lining, restore microbial balance, detox gently and safely, support nutrient absorption, and create resilience from the inside out. Every pet is unique, and that's why cookie cutter protocols and blanket medications rarely work long term. What heals one dog's IBD may actually flare in others. And when we identify the specific imbalances through testing and support the body holistically, that's when we see the true transformation. This is the holistic path Olive took, and it's available to you too. You can even watch her story here in our YouTube video. So imagine the relief of finally knowing why your pet's sick. Many of our pet parents tell us that just seeing the test results was a huge light bulb moment. Ah, that's why. That's what's been wrong all along. And then with that clarity, we actually create a targeted plan to heal. So if you're tired of watching your pet suffer while chasing the next medication, and you know deep down there has to be another way, I'm going to invite you to take that first step. Click the link below, book a free discovery call. We'll learn more about your pet's health journey. If our Blueprint program is the right fit, we'll guide you through every step of the healing process. So you can find that link to schedule a call in the description. Let's get your pet out of survival mode, back to living their best and most vibrant life, and help you feel confident on how to do it. Thanks for watching, and if this helped you, please like, subscribe, and share with another pet parent who might be struggling with gut health issues or even IBD. Together, we can help more pets heal from the inside out. I'll see you soon.